So I'm going to tell you guys a quick little bit of lore about me. Now, when I was back in secondary school, I used to do a lot of art. Like, it was one of my subjects that I did. It was a very tedious process, just painting and painting, having to apply different layers, having to make everything work together. And sometimes you just want to give up. But when you're finished, it just creates a beautiful art piece that works really nicely. Now, why am I saying this? Because games are art in the sense that it takes quite a while to make. Sometimes you might lose the will to make it, and it's just gonna be very tedious. A lot of glitches can happen. There's the hurdles that can come in your way, but eventually it's gonna come out into a nice, beautiful piece. Or it could be Sonic 06, you can pick your poison. In short, gaming is a very tedious process, and getting it from A to B is a miracle in itself. What about the games that didn't release? There's always gonna be games that don't come out, and you're always gonna have to wonder what happened. Now, one game I've always wanted to talk about was Sonic X-treme. Before Sonic Adventure, this is what the first 2D Sonic game was going to look like, especially on a newer console with the Sega Saturn releasing. This was meant to be his flagship title, but it just never really happened. In fact, it didn't really string along well at all. In turn, there's just way too many problems, engine switches, in such case that Yuji Naka said he was going to leave Sega if they used his engine from Nights into Dreams, to the fact that teams were literally working against each other like Sega of America and Sega of Japan. They didn't really want to cooperate with each other, to the fact that the whole game got changed because of the boss engine. Like deep that for a second. As well as the fact that two of the members got seriously ill, with one of them even having 6 months to live, but thankfully he's alright now. The game just had to go. It just had to go. But let's look at some of the footage. Does this look like a fun Sonic game? No. Maybe, it looks a bit interesting, but this doesn't really scream Sonic to me. Like, yes, you can go fast at times, but with this fisheye lens, it just doesn't look right. The levels kind of look empty at times. Like, I don't even know what the objective for levels are. Is it like A to B? Do you have like special stages? Is it kind of like how it is in the 2D games where it's got different layers? I don't know. This game is just very confusing. Now, of course, it's an old engine. I'd love to see what the recent engine looks like, but we're probably never going to see that. Matter of fact, I'd love to play this game, but we're probably never going to get to do that, so it's whatever. But yeah, this game was just a mess from head to toe. It just had to go. Sorry. Bars. Another console game that just has me really perplexed is Silent Hill, or more known as PT. Now, admittedly, I'm not a big knower of the Silent Hill or whatever kind of fan base that is. I shouldn't say whatever, that sounds kind of rude. I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry. But this just isn't my kind of game that I play. But one thing that's really interesting to me is that there was a playable demo. Fans could download this playable demo, they could play through, I think it was like, 20-30 minutes of the game. And then, yeah, it just disappeared. Also, I'm pretty sure if you delete the demo from like your console in terms of removing it, it's not going to show up on like your storage or whatever. You can't download it again. Like, if you delete it, it's gone. Like, the whole thing's gone. So if you're lucky and you still have the demo downloaded on your console, hey, you're one of the lucky ones. Now, this game was cancelled because of the falling out of Kojima and Konami, stuff like that. It happens, it's business. But Kojima leaving meant that it was going to end the Silent Hill franchise, and thus Konami just probably decided, let's just remove everything. Like, no one needs to play this game anymore. We're just gonna remove everything, which is a bit crazy because from what I'm seeing, this game had a lot of critical acclaim. Like, some people really enjoyed this, and deleting it just kind of seems really bizarre for me. Like, yeah, sure, maybe you're not gonna make another Silent Hill again, but at least keep the demo. At least give the fans something. Which, to be fair, I think there is a new Silent Hill coming out, so Silent Hill fans have something to praise about. And some people still want to play this demo, and I've seen there's like remakes or something, but it's been 10 years and they've not really made any mention of it, so it's probably never going to come back. Another franchise that's probably not going to come back is the Half-Life franchise. Specifically with Half-Life Episode 3, or just Half-Life 3, because who's going to say Half-Life Episode 3 all the time? Also, forgive my squeaky chair if you heard in the background, I can't help it. Now, this is probably considered the most famous game that's been cancelled, but why is that? Well, Half-Life was having different episodes releasing, with Half-Life 2 Episode 1 releasing 2006 and a Half-Life 2 Episode 2 releasing 2007. So naturally, you'd expect a Half-Life Episode 3 to come out, right? Right?
Where the video games? Where my video? I can't breathe.
The funny thing is, Valve released the Orange Box, which had the old Half-Life games as well. But yeah, after that, they didn't really make anything. Like, years passed, we didn't really hear anything about Half-Life at all. Now, of course, it is very disingenuous to say they didn't make really anything. They did make games. They made Portal 1, Portal 2. They made Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. But yeah, Half-Life just felt like something that was kind of cancelled, just shelved. They didn't really feel like they wanted to make any more games for them until they did. kinda, with Half-Life Alyx, or something like that, I don't know. Now this is a sequel to Half-Life 2, more like a prequel, showing that they could still make Half-Life games. And it also had good reviews, so yeah, they could show, yes, if we wanted to, they could make a Half-Life game. Now, is the Half-Life 3 coming out? I don't know. Funny thing is, as I was about to move on to the next game, I was just looking at some news about Half-Life 3, and apparently the game is almost finished. How? Now, I've heard nothing about this, and I'd imagine if a game like this was almost finished, I would have at least have heard something, right? But, you know, Half-Life fans, keep waiting. I don't know. I'm sorry. Now, this next game I'm going to talk about hurts my soul, because I've wanted this game to have a sequel for so long, and I thought it was going to happen, but apparently it's been cancelled, which is Bully 2. Bully's an amazing game. It's almost like GTA, but school edition, except it's kind of not like that because it's different in the ways. Anyways, I'm not gonna explain Bully. I'm not explaining Bully. Play the game, you'll understand life. But yeah, this game was reportedly in development. Now, how this came out was through leaks. I remember I saw leaks that was on Twitter, and like a bunch of things were leaked. Like, according to this leak, GTA Tokyo was cancelled, which, why would you cancel something like that? It's GTA in Tokyo. Why would you not at least try to experiment? You did GTA London, you can't do it in Tokyo? Tokyo? Yeah, Agent was also cancelled, though everyone kind of knew that already. And 8 story DLCs for GTA 5. Do you know what? 8! But the one that stuck out the most was Bully 2, and I feel like it's just like, damn, man. You cancelled Bully 2 just for what? GTA Online. And yeah, there's like a couple of concept arts that I can't really, like, there's not a lot, but yeah, this game is cancelled. At least for right now. I can imagine when they finish making GTA 6, they move on to Bully 2. So yeah, it's simple. This game's never coming out. It's never coming out. Because the thing is, right, there was enough time to release Bully 2. Between 2006 and 2025, there was plenty of time. It's not gonna come out, unfortunately. Now, the last game I want to talk about is a game that actually ended up coming out, although not in the way that it was initially intended. But this is Mother 3, and before this was a Game Boy Advance exclusive in Japan, it was an N64 title. Now, there's quite a bit of footage showing what the game is going to be about. It's going to be like a 3D exploratory game. You know, the graphics for the time looked great. It was going to have a big story, and I think there was even a playable demo at an event somewhere. I don't know exactly. Now, this game was delayed multiple times, and that was due to the limitation of the console, and also the fact that the 64 DD really wasn't a huge hit, like, at all, and eventually the plug had to be pulled. But not for long though, because while yes, the 64 version got cancelled, it was reworked into the GameCube. Although this game has still not got an English localization, which I find really bizarre. But that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know what other console games interested you in the comments. You know, I'm open to reading and looking more into other games and why they got cancelled and how they would have probably played in the modern era, or maybe the fact that the era it came from. But you can just write that down in the comments. I might read it. I might even make a second part, since there's a bunch of console games that, you know, just didn't release, or maybe that released in a different form. So yeah, take care.